We are coming to you from Oriole Park at Camden Yards in Baltimore, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Jose Abreu, Todd Frazier, Brett Laurie and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Adam Jones, Manny Machado, Chris Davis, and the Baltimore Orioles. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you Game 2 of this 4-game set and Game 5 of this 7-game road trip. As you know, it started off with 3 in Toronto. Sox swept the Blue Jays up there, which is tough to do. Then last night it started real good. 2 runs in the first inning, 2-run homer by Todd Frazier. Johnny Danks just didn't have it, and Baltimore won that game. They won it 10-2, but the Orioles are 8-1 here, and primarily because of pitching.
It's really 2 different clubs because you get them in this park, they're tough to beat. You get them on the road, and they're merely mortal. So we'll take a look at just exactly the reason why. They've hit very well here, not so much on the road. They've hit more home runs on the road. That's somewhat surprising. You see them average more runs here, but look at the ERA. 2.09 in this ballpark, 4.63 on the road. Look at the starters' ERA, 6.11 on the road. And the opponent's batting average, 2.62 on the road. So you can see why the Orioles would rather play here in Baltimore, something they're going to do for 3 more games in this series.
Well, a couple of good young arms on that bump tonight.
We got a right-hander who's big and a left-hander who might be just a touch bigger. And that's exactly what we'll see tonight head-to-head. Carlos Rodon last time out got a no decision, but threw it very well. Gave up just 2 hits and worked into the 7th inning. And Mike Wright on the other side of the field is a hard-throwing right-hander, maybe better suited for the bullpen. Our Sox have seen him. That was back on May 28th of last year, and he got the win. So to derail the Orioles at home will be the task tonight. Let's see if they can get it done.
Well, we've got 2 hard-hitting third basemen in this ball game tonight, so sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
White Sox baseball on CSN Chicago is brought to you in part by Toyota. Discover more in a Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Audi. Truth in engineering. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Welcome back to beautiful Camden Yards. It's Oriole Park at Camden Yards, as a matter of fact. And the Orioles, wearing different uniforms tonight, have taken the field. So the Sox trying to derail them, because at home they've been close to unbeatable at 8-1. So let's take a look at how Robin is going to line up our Sox. Adam Eaton leading it off and having a good run at it with Jimmy Rollins in the 2 spot. Jose Abreu first base, hitting third. Then it's Todd Frazier, who's doing pretty well in his 6-game hitting streak. Melky Cabrera, Brett Lawrie, Avisail Garcia, Deanna Navarro, and Austin Jackson rounded out. The defense and how they're going to line up behind Mike Wright. Nolan Reimold, Adam Jones, and Joey Rickert in the outfield. Then it's Machado, Hardy, Scope, and Davis in the infield. Matt Wieters gets a nod behind the plate tonight, and our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is 6'6", 215 pounds, Mike Wright. On for his 4th start. He's 1-2, a high ERA of 6.23. 19 hits and 17 in the 3rd. The control's been pretty good, and he does have 12 strikeouts. Umpires for the game tonight. Behind the plate, Sam Holbrook, Carlos Torres at first. The crew chief, Jerry Davis, is at second, and Corey Blazer is at third. So they've thrown the ball around the infield, which means we're ready to go, and that means that time to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Steve, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Game 2 of this 4-game set and Game 5 of this 7-game road trip. We'll have tomorrow and then Sunday afternoon. Tomorrow evening, Sunday afternoon before returning home. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As our small leadoff hitter against the 6'6" right-hander. First pitch of the ball game. Taken for a strike.
Wright developed a 2-seam fastball to go with his big 4-seam fastball. He can get up there 98, but the 2-seamer now is anywhere from, probably 91 to 94.
Adam comes in hitting at .307. Homer, he's driven in 5. He was 2 for 4 last evening. Sox hitting at .240 as a club with a very fine 2.55 team ERA. 2 balls and a strike.
Their pitching coach Dave Wallace decided that Wright had a big fastball, but he was keeping it up in the zone. He wanted him to try to run it and sink it some more with the 2-seamer.
That was just a beat pitch right there.
Not much you're going to do with that. As long as it's blown away at the knees, you might as well take it and hope for one with a little more of the plate.
Watch out.
Like somebody got hit with that line drive, and they're taking a look down there.
Another foul. Wright had some good at bats last night and some lengthy ones.
Wright is not going to shake off Matt Wieters. Wieters, a veteran catcher. Wright, a very young pitcher, and he's going to depend on Wieters and his knowledge of the league. Going to coast him along.
Foul tip and hung on to by Wieters.
Menard's pitch tracks will show you almost a perfect slider. This one down and in. Good tight spin on that, and not much contact.
Jimmy. Rollins takes first pitch strike. Thing about Wright, he will get it and throw it.
And now with an 0-2 count, they go into the severe shift. Hardy moves over toward the first base side of second. Another thing Dave Wallace has been working with Wright is a straight change. He threw a very good one on the first pitch to Jimmy Rollins.
And 2 now. So with 2 out, let's check out our picks to click. Your man Joe, our director and crew. Well, they went with Bobby. Steve's going with Cabrera and Mike Spadali. Keel, Leo Brady, and we're going to go with Deanna Navarro. So here is a couple of big men going at one another right here. Ira Abreu against their Mike Wright.
Jose had a couple of hits and a walk last night, so it looks like he's starting to swing the bat.
Also, our hitters right here should be watching this very, very carefully because of the fact they're seeing how fast he likes to work, and he's throwing strikes. So if that's the case, you got to slow him up.
They also have a completely different defense. This is the first team that we've seen that radical shift with Hosea.
You don't want to be able to let a guy pitch at his rhythm.
Now Schoop has moved back to pretty much straightaway second base with an 0-2 count.
That could have gone either way.
It's had a piece of the plate, but fortunately Sam Holbrook thought it was a little bit wide.
Right. 26 years old out of Laurel Hill, North Carolina.
Third-round draft pick of these Orioles in 2011. Got to the major leagues for the first time last year. He had 9 starts of his 12 appearances. His ERA up over 6, and he was 3-5. But he did manage to beat our Sox.
Just ate him up inside. That's an impressive inning right there for Mike Wright.
For tonight's game, Joey Rickert leading it off, and it's Machado and Davis. In the middle, Trumbo, Jones, and Wieters, with J.J. Hardy, Nolan Reimold, and Jonathan Schoop rounding it out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Carlos Rodon. Melky Cabrera, Austin Jackson, and Adam Eaton in the outfield with Todd Frazier. Jimmy Rollins, Brett Lawrie, and Jose Abreu in the infield. Deanna Navarro gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Carlos Rodon. On for his 5th start, he's 1-2, thrown the ball a bit better than that. ERA a touch over 4, and there you look at the numbers. A strikeout an inning, which is pretty impressive.
So Joey Rickard, 24 years old, 2 for 4 last night, hitting at .295. And he takes a strike to even the count. And Sox with a roster move. Daniel Webb placed on the DL. Felt a little twinge in his elbow last night. Watch out. And a guy named Tommy Canley. Charlotte was called up. He's a right-hander, and he had limited right-handers to a 2 for 21 average with 10 strikeouts.
So in spring training, he threw the ball pretty well, and unfortunately for Daniel Webb, who got his opportunity and gave up a couple of hits but struck out 3 last night, he has an ouchy elbow.
Full count. There you go.
Good hard slider down and out of the strike zone, so 1 hitter, 1 strikeout. And with the speed of Rickard, it's a good man to keep off base leading off an inning. They went to Korea to get Young-Soo Kim, but he didn't hit at all in spring training. Rickard, a Rule 5 pick, won the spot, and he hasn't stopped hitting yet.
So here's the man with a hot bat, hitting at .333, 7 homers, 16 knocked in. He was 2 for 4 last night with a grand slam. .35 home runs last year. Just 23 years old and just getting better and better and better. Can't get much better with the leather. He's already there.
A defensive whiz on a par with Brooks Robinson, they say, and has yet to commit an error this year.
Just at the bottom, just missing a little bit.
You might get the 3-0 green light, so you've got to be careful. Here is just the 2nd grand slam in the history of Manny Machado, a hanging slider, and gone.
That ball hit hard. Austin got the jump, got the bead, got the ball. Machado was locked in.
And Austin was shading him a touch to right center field. Unfortunately, this ball that was slicing away from him is corralled. You see where he lines up, and then he gets just a great jump on it, putting it away easily on what would have been a double had he not been positioned where he was.
Adam Eaton took a double away from Machado last night, turned it into a double play on a great jump, a great route. He got a little help from the wind, as here is Davis. He hit one of his patented towering fly ball home runs.
Looks like he swings so easily also.
We talked about him when he was with Texas. Just give him a couple of years and this guy had a chance to be something special. Indeed he has been.
Well, if you want to get him here, throw the ball up and on the inner portion. If you throw it above his hands, he's not going to be able to catch up to it upstairs. But he can catch up to a few of them. 53 home runs, 138 driven in 2013.
47 and 117 last year.
Pretty amazing numbers. And then,
well, it is to the degree that this is the major leagues. You've got a guy there, and it just goes to show you how many mistakes pitchers make. I mean, you know what he can do. More importantly, you know what he can't do. And that's hit it from the waist up. And there's a nice inning for Carlos, and after 1, no score. Hayes, our White Sox insider, all season long on CSNChicago.com, presented by The Great Escape. Pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, and more. Escape your everyday. Shop The Great Escape. And talking about that guy, Dan Hayes, poof, here he is. Welcome, buddy. What you got?
You know, the year ago today was the game with no fans, and there's been a lot of discussion about that the last 2 days in the clubhouse. You know, Carlos Rodon, we were just talking about off air there. This is his second appearance here, and he actually threw 5 pitches at the end of that game. He said the thing he remembers the entire time was sitting out there and how quiet it was in the bullpen, and he could hear Adam Jones basically umpiring the game out loud from 50 feet away in center field. A lot of memories for guys. Obviously, you guys know just how different the broadcast was, being able to hear Gary Thorne, the Orioles announcer, in your ears and on your air too. But Adam Eaton talked about just the uncertainty of everything and how strange that was to sit in the hotel room for 2 days not knowing, hey, we might play at 1 o'clock on Tuesday, we're not going to play, we might play at 5 o'clock. All the different scenarios. And even talked to Ed Casson, the traveling secretary, longtime traveling secretary. He talked about how much he got involved in the process. Maybe they'd play in Philly, maybe they'd play in Washington, D.C., and then ultimately deciding to play here.
Well, as I said, when he came in, Adam Jones and I were having a conversation when he came out to the on-deck zone. I mean, we were just talking just a little louder than we are right now as far as projecting. But, I've always believed that there's always been the home field advantage, so to speak, right? And I thought that one of the biggest reasons that people never talked about was the sound.
Absolutely. And you saw the Orioles players have a little bit of fun with it. Last year, guys would go over and fake high five in the stands, and they tried to replicate some of it, obviously, with the sound in between innings and the 7th inning stretch. And obviously, they had about 70 fans out there beyond the gates, but it was just a surreal experience all the way around.
It was. That's the way to frame it. It was surreal because it's never happened before. And all of a sudden now we're involved in it, and you don't know what to think. And it's an interesting thing on the sound is that's a fair ball. So Melky, after that rocket off the bat of Todd Frazier down to Machado, he will move into second base with his third two-bagger.
Reimold did a very good job of getting to it and barehanded throw in one motion, and he's at second base, but not there by much. Inside out swing, takes it just inside the line. Machado off the line, had no chance. See Corey Blazer motioning fair, and then Reimold comes over. Good solid throw to second. Just an eyelash too late.
So here's Brett Laurie. Laurie, 1 for 4 last night. Picked up a double. But yeah, when you're involved in something that's never been done before, I mean, you got to say it was surreal.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you guys maybe have experienced it too. I know some of the players were looking out their hotel rooms and could see the orange glow from fires, and 200 fires across the city. Obviously, the National Guard was in on Tuesday morning. It's just a very different 3 days than I think any of us have probably ever experienced.
Well, in my room, it was facing Pratt Street, so I called room service to get it, but it was going to be 2 hours because everybody was in the hotel, everybody was ordering room service. So, and there was a Jimmy John's and there was a Subway just a block down the street. So I walked out. I was going to go down to Jimmy John's, and all of a sudden I looked across the street, and there was about 8 or 10 citizens, so to speak, and some police officers, and they had a couple of them on the ground. And I looked, and Jimmy John's was closed. So I was walking across the street to Subway, and all of a sudden here comes 8 or 10 more citizens around the corner. So when they did that, I made a U-turn, and when I went right to the hotel, thank goodness I had some crackers in my room that I could eat. No, it was not a good day. It was a tragic day, as a matter of fact.
And Adam Eaton did talk about that, saying that he remembers playing and not wanting to play, but they're professionals, so they had to, and even then they still didn't want to play.
The thing that has an indelible memory for me was Jeff Samardzija started that game, didn't throw very well. The Orioles just blasted him in the first inning. But I remember Chris Davis hitting a home run almost to the warehouse that literally exploded off the bat, and the only sound you could hear was the ball off the bat and nothing else as he rounded the bases. I think it was a 3-run homer, something that hopefully none of us will ever see again, because under the circumstances, it was terrible in this city.
Well, under the circumstances, it was probably one of the most mishandled days by city administration, and certainly in Baltimore's history, maybe in the history of the country.
And I think that's what he's kind of getting at was, there's just so much stuff going on in the city, and so many people's lives are at stake, and he was just more concerned about that than trying to get together for a baseball game. The thing that you were talking about with Chris Davis there, Steve, the ball was still there a couple hours later, just sitting in the entrance way to a bathroom. There were pictures of the ball just sitting there. And obviously, that's a ball that would have been devoured by about 30 fans in 2 seconds, and they send guys out to get all the foul balls from the seats. It's just a strange memory.
I think the thing I remember probably the most about it was watching TV and watching. They had great coverage of it all around the city, and was the plea from the police to let them do something. They were told to stand down. Let them. They were pleading with, just let us do something. Let us stop some of this carnage that was going on. But it didn't happen. There's a shot base hit. And that's going to be a double. So Melky will score. And now he's going to turn it over. Here he goes, and he's going to get there. So the Sox jump out to a quick 1-0 lead.
This ball mishandled for a moment out in left center field by Adam Jones, and that's all it took for Avi to scamper into third base. So he crushes the ball, driving in his 9th run. He showed signs in Toronto that he was going to break out of it. And here he's taking a look. He can see that Adam Jones is having some problems and turns it on, decides he's going to third. And the ball caroms off him, but not far enough. But it's an early lead.
There's a man 6'4", 240 pounds, can move it.
He certainly can do that.
Before the game, Robin Ventura actually talked about him a little bit. Just said it's a confidence thing, not necessarily a mechanical thing. You guys have known this week. His average is up 77 points going into today's at bat. They believe he's just done a good job sticking with the approach, and it's more he's starting to hit the ball hard and feels confident and doesn't feel like he's the guy that's always making the out right now.
You just mentioned the right word, approach, not mechanics, approach. And he's starting to work himself into an approach now. As we talked about, is down to Davis, but a double, a triple, and the Sox lead it 1-0. Chris Sale takes the mound in the series finale, looking to improve to 6-0. Coverage starts at noon with White Sox pregame live, presented by the Koalas family of dealerships, right here on CSN Chicago. And I want to thank Dan Hayes for coming up and spending a half inning with us. But getting back to Avi Garcia, I said it before and I'll say it again. Talent-wise, he's the most talented player on this club. Production-wise, he's not. but that doesn't mean he can't get there. But talent-wise, there's nobody on our ball club that has more talent than Avisail Garcia.
I think it was a big test for him in Toronto when he went head-to-head with Marcus Stroman, one of the best young pitchers around. Avi did very well against Marcus and went on to have 5 hits in that series and seen the light turned on for him.
That's what happens with youngsters. That you can only have that light turn on for you with an approach.
Looked like he scraped up his leg on that slide. But when you're as big, as fast, and as strong as Avi is, you're going to get a few opportunities. He started out slowly. Now seems to be really picking it up.
Big, strong Mark Trumbo.
He was acquired from Seattle, and he's got big power to all fields.
2-2.
You don't want to make too many pitches behind him because he can drive it out to any part of the ballpark. Had some big years with the Angels. 36 home runs, 122 driven in.
Pitch inside. And a full count. He gone. Good pitch.
Well, Trumbo hesitated as if Sam Holbrook missed the pitch, but when you see where it is on our Menards pitch tracks, you'll see that this one has the whole plate. Perfect pitch. Trumbo down on strikes. Strikeout number 2 for Carlos.
Here's Adam Jones off to a slow start at 217, but he has some bad ribs. And he's playing through it. He had a couple of hits last night. Two down.
Talked with Adam before the series started last evening, and he said that although he was banged up, he said he's feeling very good now. And the Orioles really have to have him feeling well, because if he does, he extends that power hitting middle of this order. Not gonna walk very much, but he can hit them.
Well, last year, Jones 70, 27 homers, drove in 82.
And played a magnificent center field, as he always does.
But he's a magnificent player, period. What happens, though, if you get a bad hand or a bad wrist, or bad ribs or oblique, it may subside enough for you to play, but it's still there in the back of your mind. What happens most of the time is you start pushing the bat rather than swinging. Wieters. There's a shank. One Peru wouldn't like that word, but a shank.
Wieters a switch hitter, better average from the left side. Last year, recovering from a severe injury the year before. Played less than half a season.
And here you go. He knew it. So that is 6 up, 6 down for Carlos.
White Sox will feature a flash sale in which 200 tickets in select lower level seating categories for the upcoming game will be available for just $10. Each sale runs for 24 hours or whenever all the tickets are gone. For full details, visit whitesox.com/flash sale.
Austin Jackson. Yeah, we mentioned that home run in the first inning last night. It's about Todd Frazier, of course, with that home run. Alex Snellius with another generous donation to White Sox charities.
Now Wright will have to make a pitch behind Jackson, who was swinging it real well in Toronto.
Well, he had 2 good at bats last night. He just made a good pitch on him right there on 2-0.
Yeah, good call by Wieters. He wanted a slider, and as we said, Wright's not going to shake anything off. This is an outside fastball. You see the two-seamer anywhere from 91 to 93. When he wants to, he can get that four-seam fastball up to 98. We've seen 96 tonight. Fastball's topped out at 97, the slider at 87, and his changeup 14 miles an hour difference from the fastball. That's usually pretty good.
Austin was all over that one, just underneath it.
Outfield is almost dead straight away. But Rickard off the line in right, so they're trying to close up the right center field gap.
Third strikeout for Wright. And we'd like to welcome all of our viewers watching on Wide Open West Cable in Chicagoland area and Northwest Indiana.
And Machado in very close at third. He's on the grass. Davis stepping back the bag at first, trying to take away the bunt.
Eden struck out his first trip. Two down.
When Machado wants to, he'll throw from the side or underneath. He's thrown from his knees with accuracy. In that respect, a lot like Adrian Beltre. However, when he has to throw from over the top, as we saw with the drive off the bat of Todd Frazier leading off last inning, he can really get it over there.
Here's Rollins. Jimmy struck out his first trip. Top of the zone. 0-2.
Pretty good pitch as he went to the four-seamer, and 31 fastballs so far. One of the things that pitching coach Dave Wallace has said about Wright, because he can get it up there in the high 90s, he believes that somewhere along the line, especially if he can't get his changeup over the plate consistently, that he's got a chance to be a pretty good closer or premier setup man.
And that ball had the plate. Go to the bottom of the third. We lead at 1-0. White Sox checking and an official White Sox MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. So go to wintrust.com/Sox to learn more. Remember, FDIC.
Bottom third due up against Carlos Rodon, who started off his ball game with excellent control. J.J. Hardy started out his career with the Milwaukee Brewers, got to the big leagues in 2005.
J.J. a couple of hits last night, comes in at 265, a couple of homers. He's driven in 8 last year. Had some problems, injuries at 219, 8 homers and drove in 37. Got to hurry on this one. Yes.
Todd Frazier knows exactly what kind of speed Hardy has, and he doesn't have big speed, so he came in, charged the ball very well. I mean, we've got 2 excellent third basemen going head-to-head tonight. Good solid play, over the top throw, and it's right on the money. See how quickly he gets to the ball, in position to throw it, and gets rid of it quickly enough to cut him down rather easily.
So here's Reimold. 321. Couple of homers.
Reimold, a study in persistence. Didn't really establish himself early in his career, made the rounds of a few clubs before coming back to the Orioles and getting a spot to play.
There's a little jam pop up at everybody you can't get to. Both these guys tonight getting it and throwing it. It's like my former partner, God rest his soul, Hall of Famer Don Drysdale used to say, as a pitcher, don't make that hitter wait on you. You wait on the hitter. You get that ball and you get that ball, and when he steps in the box, you look him right in the eye.
I always felt only 2 things can happen. One good, one bad. You might as well figure it out what it is as quickly as you can.
Well, you take those good pitchers. That was part of the mantra back in that time zone. They would look you right in the eye. Bob Gibson's. There's a good strike. 2 down. Mound presence, it was called. Mound presence. Who's got the sense of control?
Pretty good pitch on the inside corner. And Reimold goes down looking. That's the 3rd straight strikeout, the 4th overall, and the 3rd straight strikeout looking. Trumbo, Wieters, now Reimold, all looking to call thirds.
Scope can't get it. Somebody is going to have that sense of control. It's either going to be the hitter or the pitcher, but somebody is going to have that sense of control.
Well, with the guys you mentioned, they had a sense of control because nobody could hit them.
Well, there was the reason nobody could hit them. Drysdale, of course, hit more guys than anybody in the history of the game.
And Gibson didn't have any problems throwing to anybody either.
Well, the funny thing about Gibson, though, certain guys he would throw it. If you happen to be a guy who was coming to the plate at the wrong time in the game because you had hit one of his guys, then you were going to get drilled. But or if you showed him up, you were going to get drilled. I remember hitting a home run off him in spring training in St. Petersburg, and it was the first time I'd ever faced him, and I couldn't get around those bases fast enough. That's in the center field. That's can of corn. That is 9 up, 9 down for Carlos.
back. White Sox greats on homecoming weekend, Friday, May 20th to Sunday, May 22nd. And the opposition, the Kansas City Royals. Homecoming weekend is presented by the Village of Bedford Park. Bring your business home to Bedford Park and win big. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com.
A double by Cabrera, triple by Garcia in the second, and we lead it 1-0 as there's first pitch strike to Abreu. So, you know, getting back to that presence, that mound presence there. Ron Fairley was telling me the story about Drysdale when he was pitching against the Pirates one day. The Pirates had just called up this rookie. In his first at bat, he comes up to the plate against Drysdale. And he starts digging in with that right foot. He's brushing his right-handed hitter, digging a hole. So Don just didn't say a word, just looked at him. The guy did it for maybe 5 or 6 seconds. All of a sudden he quit. Don waited a couple seconds. He looked in and Fairley said, "Is it deep enough?" There's a base hit. Nice by Jose. But Drysdale looked at the hitters. "Is it deep enough?" The guy just looked at him. He said, "I hope it is, because I'm going to bury you in there."
Inside out swing and a base hit to lead it off here in the fourth. Sox with a 1-run lead, looking for more with the middle of the order due up.
First pitch, he hit the guy in the wrist and broke his wrist.
Not surprising.
No.
That's what happened a lot in that era of the game.
Here's Frazier. He just hammered one down to his counterpart at third. Machado made the play look easy. Good pitch right at the bottom of the zone. So far, Sam Holbrook has not missed a pitch in this game.
No, he's been right on top of everything. And when you have the type of slider Rodon has, it's hard to call it. Sam said a good night early in this one.
Oops.
That's a two-seam fastball buried down and in. And if he becomes a good major leaguer, it's going to be because of that pitch. He's got the big fastball, but now he's got late movement.
Can't get him at first, says Carlos Torres.
Credit Todd with hustling down the line, knowing that this is a potential double play. Schoop gets it. And it looks like, and you wonder if he actually had the bag at second base. Now, I think the Orioles are wanting to see if Frazier actually beat the play at first.
Well, from up here where we were sitting, our vantage point looked like they got him first.
Buck Showalter, I believe, wants them to take a look at it. Frazier said he's safe. Carlos Torres said he's safe. It looked like they might have had him.
In real time it did.
We'll take a look at what will be a double play if they overturn the call. Schoop at second base. Then he straddles the bag. No chance at all to break it up for Abreu, and the safe sign at first.
Well, not the best technique by Schoop, but once he turned it loose, it got over there in a hurry.
Well, he's a natural shortstop. He's played third base. He's got a big arm. Buck Showalter told me that, look, Young man doesn't have the best range around, but he's got a tremendous amount of power for a second baseman and one of the best arms for a second baseman in all of baseball, and we saw it a bit there. So he's on the bag, and then he doesn't have to take a step because he does have a big arm, and now we'll have to see what they say in New York about that relay to first. Probably the best you can hope for here is the no definitive proof. This is a phenomenally talented defensive infield.
Only 2 errors in the infield.
It's pretty amazing. Both by Davis. Yeah.
Chris Davis.
Right, it looks like he's got the ball there, and the foot is not on the bag yet. So they got him.
Yeah, when you get a second baseman control like that. And even when Gordon Beckham was with us at second base, he and Alexei turned double plays that a lot of teams could not turn because of arm strength. Well, let's see if that little interlude right there interrupt the rhythm with Mike Wright. Fair ball, softly hit, and that'll retire the side. We have completed 3.5, and we lead it 1-0.
Host a business function in a Diamond Suite at a White Sox game. Diamond Suites can accommodate groups from 10 to 100. Single game packages include a great food menu as well as beverages and parking passes. To purchase, visit whitesox.com/group.
It's the bottom of the 4th inning. Our guys on top, 1-0. Carlos Rodon has retired everybody he's seen through the first 3 with 4 strikeouts. So they go back to the top of the order. Here is Joey Rickard, who struck out.
Can't play him too deep in the infield. He's not really a butter to this point, but he's got great speed. 5 infield hits, and that leads the American League at this point. Rule 5 draft. Out of Tampa Bay, they had an abundance of outfielders, took him off the 40-man roster. The Orioles took a gamble, and now he's a starting outfielder.
One out. So here's the only guy that's really hammered the pitch off of Carlos tonight. Manny Machado hit a bullet to Austin Jackson in center, who was shading him into right center.
Good off-speed pitch as he fell behind early. Machado, former #1 draft pick, third player chosen overall in 2010 by these Orioles. Seen fastball. He's seen straight change. He's seen slider on 3 successive pitches. You see Rodon early riding that fastball 88% of the time.
He gone.
Well, that was a Chris Sale type slider. That was one that started outside. Right-handed hitter gives up on it, and the 4th strikeout in a row that's been looking after the first strikeout swinging of Rickard.
Here's Chris Davis. 0 for 1, grounded out. Brett Laurie. And you can cancel the post-game show. Just shove that one into left field.
Carlos wanted that fastball in. He got it up, just not in far enough. And the inside-out swing of Davis on the Honda pitch tracks. We'll see it had a little too much of the plate. And Davis, first man to reach.
Mark Trumbo struck out, called out, leading off the 2nd.
Trumbo with a .250 lifetime major league batting average, but starting off at .354 heading into this one. He's got big power. He's a big run producer. Normally not a very good average hitter. And Mike Scioscia, who was the first man who managed him in the major leagues with the Angels, said if you're looking for a high on base percentage or you're looking for a big batting average, this is not the guy. If you're looking for somebody who can drive in a whole lot of runs, this is probably the guy. One time he drove in 100. That was in 2013 with the Angels.
Off the end of the bat. And that'll retire the side. We're into the 5th, still leading 1-0.
presented by WGN-TV on May 25th at U.S. Cellular Field. Prior to the game versus the Indians, WGN-TV meteorologist Tom Skilling will host a special on-field program focusing on weather, which will include weather experiments and a video presentation. For more information, you can purchase tickets and visit whitesox.com/WGN.
So here's Laurie.
There's a young lady who's had some blue cotton candy, apparently.
Hello, cotton candy.
And Mom would love to see her daughter partially smurfed out in blue.
Here's a 2-0 pitch. And that was just off. First pitch that he has missed. And that was not by much. Pretty good for going into the 5th inning.
Sam's had a good night. And both pitchers, for the most part, have been around the plate a lot. In fact, we've had no walks. Although Wright is threatening to put Laurie aboard to lead off the inning.
That's back underneath us. Almost bounced it to the booth.
Pretty amazing. I'm not sure where it hit, but it certainly bounced up high enough to hit just below where we are situated.
Full count. One hopper. One out.
Avi Garcia tripled in a run in the 2nd inning, and with that first White Sox run, E-Click Lending has donated $100 to the Pat Tillman Foundation, supporting military veterans and their families.
Outfield punts just a bit for Avi.
Wieters is looking at his feet to see where he's setting up. Good catchers will do that because you never really know if he's going to get a little closer to the plate or if he's going to back off the plate. And you see Wieters right there. He's looking to see if he's in the same spot he was the first time up.
Machado.
Pretty tacky around the pitcher's mound because it's 90% humidity here. So between innings, remember the grounds crew went out there and took the old and used pieces of nails that they use so a pitcher can clean off his spikes. Because quite obviously, if the spikes aren't to the pitcher's liking, if they're caked with dirt, he's not going to be able to get a good firm foundation, which is what you need to pitch.
Here's Navarro. Taking all the way 0-1. Two out, 0-2 the count. We're halfway home leading 1-0. Dolson. No, he's not. He was on tape.
Well, he was Dolson then.
Dolson. Dolson. Archer. Good man. Adam Jones will lead it off. Then Wieters. Then Hardy. Adam grounded out to Todd Frazier. One
of the few times that Carlos has been behind. He's got to make at least one tough pitch to Jones. Adam played his first game for the Orioles in 2008 after coming over from Seattle.
4 in a row. Leadoff walk.
Buck Showalter, after Jones grounded out, didn't exactly hustle to first base. He called him into the office and he said, look, you are going to be the face of this franchise. We don't have a good team now, but we will, and they're going to be looking at you and everything you do. So from now on, you run as hard as you can all the time, and Adam Jones took that to heart. And right now, he's one of the guys that really hustles on this team, and he's set a great example for everyone else.
Wieters with a big hack. He was called out back in the second inning. Our guys on top 1-0. That could go on either way.
Wieters has grounded into 3 double plays this year, and amazingly enough, they've all been as a left-hand hitter.
Tried to do a little too much too quick. Now we got a problem. Runners at the corners. Nobody out.
Fairly easy 4-6-3. And Brett Lawrie cannot come up with it as that one eats him up. Jones to third.
And here's Hardy. He grounded out to Frazier. Yeah, it was Wieters running right there. He had plenty of time. First pitch strike right on the outer parts.
That's the 13th error for the Sox this year. The third for Lawrie.
Now they're going to get him in a pickle. Come on, run it. There you go. Good. 2 throws. Grab some bench.
Good play by Todd Frazier because he held the ball up so Navarro could see it. He ran right at Jones, making him commit. Navarro gets it, goes right back to Frazier, and he does the honors by tagging him out. So that means Wieters cannot advance to third, and now a ground ball turns into 2 and out of the inning.
And Nolan Reimold, the hitter, who struck out his first trip. Well, in the perfect world, you make that play with 1 throw, but preferably no more than 2. That play right there is amazing. How many major league teams screw that play up?
Well, one of the things Robin and the whole staff worked on in spring training because of the fundamentals last year was fundamentals.
Well, the irony of that right there is the fact that they worked on it in 15 in spring training all spring long, and they still didn't get it done during the season.
A different defensive team this year.
Every year Robin's been here, they've worked on fundamentals in spring training, and yet the season starting poof. It's like they never did.
It disappeared.
Yeah. That's outside. 2-1. Counts 3-1.
Carlos Torres at first base said he did not go far enough, and that was a really close call. Could have gone either way, went the Orioles' way.
Boy, I don't know what Nolan was looking for right there.
Got a fastball right down the middle. I mean,
just
right,
anything but that.
He was guessing ball.
Well, that's what you call it, dumping yourself right there, which we all have done. Payoff pitch. I'll tell you, that is so true. It's amazing how many times you've been 2-0, 3-1. Looking for a fastball in or out or a slider and get it one right down the middle. Take it. That's going to be a hit, and that'll load him up.
Second base hit of the night. Don Frazier tried pick up and throw in the same motion with the bare hand and couldn't come up with the baseball, so now they're going to meet at the mound off the end of the bat. And Frazier with a do-or-die play can't control it.
That's the Kansas City special right there. They do that more than any team in the American League, and probably in all of baseball, because they strike out. Last year they struck out over 200 fewer times than any team in baseball. They put it in play and do that, something good can happen.
Schoop is grounded into 2 double plays this year.
About a 1-2-3, right?
Bases full of Orioles in an inning that should have been over, but it's not.
Slider outside, evens the count at 1.
Sox have not found themselves in this position too often. The defense has been stellar. Now Carlos has got to pitch his way out of a tough jam.
They're going to wave him around. Here's the throw to the plate. It's off the cutoff. Off the mark. And it's a 2-1. Yeah, when you first rule in baseball is you got to catch the ball. Give the other team extra outs. Chances are they're going to beat you.
Schoop driving in his 9th and 10th. Hit the ball hard the first time up. This time he drives it by Rollins at second base. No chance on the relay. And the Orioles, for the first time tonight, take the lead. So Don Cooper's had his say. And the Orioles roll to the top with Rickert,
who has struck out and popped up to second. That's low. Take your time. Watch out.
He's out.
He's out. He called him out. And that.
Well, no, they're calling it an error because he slid before the bag and he got a piece of Jimmy Rollins. It looked like
another run scores.
Looks like Jerry Davis said he was out. Take another look at it. It'll go E6, but Rollins comes across and he just falls.
No, he just tripped.
He falls and airmails Abreu at first. So unfortunately, a couple of errors. Well, this has opened it up for a big inning.
So it's a 3-1 lead. He just tripped. Flat trip coming in. Adam got a good shot at him. And he got him. But two big errors. Because Carlos Rodon, huge. They score 3 and they lead it by 2.
The 2016 season for Free T-Shirt Thursday. The first 10,000 fans at every White Sox regular season home game will receive a specially designed White Sox T-shirt. To purchase your free T-Shirt Thursday tickets, visit whitesox.com. And this coming Thursday at home, it's Melky Day.
Here's Austin Jackson as if you're just tuning in, we just gave him 3 runs. 2 big errors, 2 double plays that should have been turned. Were not.
And another perfect throw by Adam Eaton, who's been brilliant in right field.
Well, up until this point, I can't imagine anybody in this league playing better in right field than Adam Eaton has. Maybe as good.
No.
I can't imagine anybody playing better.
Nobody in baseball can compare with what he's done this year. Take a look at this throw again. It's right on the money, a 2-hopper. I talked with Adam about his arm, the surgically repaired arm. He said he feels 100%. Sam Holbrook looked to see if Navarro held on. He did. And Adam said, look, there's no doubt I wasn't throwing quite as well as I should have last year. He said he just feels great. That the surgery was successful. He wasn't 100% when spring training started, but he looks like 200% this year.
One out.
Exact same spot as the first time. He buried it inside, and Austin couldn't make any contact.
6 strikeouts now for the 6'6" right-hander. So here's Adam, a strikeout and a ground out to third. That could have gone their way.
No walks so far for Wright. And he's changed speeds pretty well.
He's been impressive.
Yes, he has.
And the count 3-0. All right, that's the first walk issued by Wright. And here comes Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy's had a tough time his first 2 at-bats against the big right-hander. 2 strikeouts. And he takes ball 1. Don't help him out.
Wright doesn't like the baseball, and so he'll get another one. Many times umpires will take that baseball, put it right back in their pockets, then give the same ball to you again in a situation where maybe it feels better.
That's softly hit into center field, and that's going to fall. That's going to fall for the base hit. So Adam into third base, reading it nicely, and now Adam Jones might be hurt.
So having bad ribs coming in, you can see he's probably feeling the effects of it as he trapped the ball. And Adam Eaton looking at him all the way with a heads-up play, because he knew that on the ground Jones just not going to be able to get up fast enough. You see Adam taking a look. He realizes Jones not getting up all that quickly as he traps it, falling right on that right side. Good heads-up base running on to third base. Runners at the corners and a chance to eat into that 3-run lead.
And here's Abreu. He's 1 for 2. He's grounded to first, and then he shoved a single into right field.
I'm out way off the line in left field. And if you give them any soft stuff with a defense like this, you're pitching away from your defense. It looks like if he goes inside, he's going to go hard way in and try to get him out of way.
One and one to count. Give me a decent lead at first. And now right on top. The ball and 2 strikes.
Use that two-seam fastball 3 straight times, the last 2 off the plate, but close enough and buried on the inside part.
And he shoves another one out there. It's going to fall. It's a 3-2 ball game. So Rollins will pull up on the shank by Abreu.
Nice piece of hitting. He went after a pitch up and out of the strike zone. Wieters called for a fastball up. Wright got it up. This out of the zone, and he brought his hands in and drove in a run. That's run number 11 for Jose.
Well, he used his short arm swing right there. Try to extend on that pitch, and you're going to knock your thumbnails off.
I don't think you could extend on that.
So here is Todd, 0 for 2. A smash down to Machado, leading off the second. Then he hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice. It turned out to be a double play. After an appeal by the Orioles, a review.
Well, there's a break because that one had the plate, and Todd got the benefit of the call. 83rd pitch on the way in what has become a 1-run game.
He's got the catbird seat, 2-0. Now you can pick and choose. 21.
Reimold has an accurate arm in left field, not overpoweringly strong, and Joe McEwing, with any chance at all, is going to run on this outfield.
That was a good strike. Pitchers pitch.
See lots of fastballs from Wright. Mostly two-seamers. Nice spin around, but Schoop wasn't anywhere near Rollins at second base.
Oh yeah, 3-1. Cabrera on deck. Grabs the strike right there to fold it up with a slider.
That was a good hard-breaking slider, buckled the knees of Frazier, and Vance Worley starts to throw in the pen.
Old saying, if you can throw it 3-1, you can throw it 3-2.
Oriole relievers second in the major leagues with a 1.70 ERA. They've been pretty good out of the pen. Buck Showalter has gone to that bullpen early and often this year, and you just wonder if you're using it that much early, how well it's going to hold up. Last night, Wilson went 4 2/3, and then he went to the pen.
Once again, the payoff. And there is ball 4. We caught a break.
Two pretty good pitches in that sequence. And Dodd is going to first to load him up. And here is Dave Wallace as he comes out now with his youngster struggling for the first time after a leadoff strikeout by Austin Jackson. Walk, base hit, walk. And a chance for Melky.
Melky 1 for 2. Melky doubled and scored back in the second. Scored on that triple by Avisaíl Garcia.
That one almost thrown to the bricks. As Wright, the first time all night, has been fighting it with his control.
Yeah, you don't want to take that one for a shingle.
Not even for the club.
And there is a shot into center field. It's going to hang up. Here's a throw to the plate. And they get him. Perfect peg by Adam Jones. We come up with 1 and we trail it by 1.
This is a good throw and a tremendous pick by Wieters. He just gets the ball down and they throw out Jimmy Rollins to end the inning with the Orioles leading by 1. Keep you from doing the things you love to do. Schedule an appointment at any of our 340 facilities by visiting athletico.com/appointments.
Three-two ball game here in the bottom of the 6th inning. You're just tuning in. We gave them 3 runs back in the 5th. 2 errors. So here's Davis. He's 1 for 2. Had a little soft single into left field. Slider outside. Hard one hopper. 1 out.
Davis trying to hit it through the shift, but Laurie was playing in short right field, and it was a vicious topspin one hopper.
Here's Trumbo, a strikeout and a ground out to Laurie.
You would think with the bullpen still throwing for the Orioles that would be it for Wright, who will take the lead as he departs this one.
High in the right field. That's a can of corn for Adam.
Brock throwing and likely to come into it. So if it was earlier, Vance Worley was up, but as we get to the 7th, it's Brad Brock. We've seen two guys thrown out at the plate, one by the man at the plate and the other Adam Eaton.
Jones has grounded to third and then walked. But it was that leadoff walk in the 5th. It started a 3-run inning, aided by 2 errors. Sox coming in with that 10-4 road record for this ball game. That is the best 14-game start since 2005 when we won the World Series. Also at 10-4. Last year, after 14 games on the road, the Sox were 2-12. On the other side of that page, the Orioles are 8-1 here at home.
And it hasn't necessarily been the hitting. The pitching has been much better here.
He gone 1-2-3 inning, and we'll go to the 7th, trailing 3-2.
Action replays, and it's two guys getting thrown out at the plate. After Machado single, Adam Eaton guns down Rickard at the plate. That was very impressive, as was Adam Jones. Melky sinking line drive. Jones comes on. Good pick by Wieters. And Jimmy Rollins cut down at the plate. So the game remains at 3-2 as Brad Brock comes into this one. On for the 12th time. He's been a busy man. 2-0, the ERA .68. 14 strikeouts in 13 1/3. A couple of Oriole fans on a very cool evening, certainly enjoying drumsticks.
Brock, another big guy, 6'6". Out of Nashville. Here's Laurie. Grounded to second and grounded to third. 3-5 and check that 2-5 and a huge 2 for us. 3-4 and 0 for them.
Brock has never started a game in organized baseball in a career that takes him back to 2008 with the Padres in the Arizona Fall League.
One big thing about these pitchers today, they just keep getting bigger and bigger.
Getting bigger, throwing a little bit harder. And in the case of Brock, very durable. 62 appearances last year.
We did not go.
Brock 5-3 last year, 2.72 ERA. When you give up 57 hits and 79 and a third, you've got very good stuff. He also fanned 89 and 79 and a third. He's got a pretty good fastball, but that hard slider is his put-away pitch.
That ball hit high and deep. Raimo goes back at the fence, looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. And this game is tied at 3.
They had worked Brett Lawrie up the entire night. And this was a duplicate of the first pitch of the sequence. Second home run, 8th driven in. And our fourth home run replay, look at the location. It's up, it's out over the plate. And Lawrie takes it just far enough to tie up the ball game.
Well, after making that error, you know he wanted a little redeemer. And Ivy upset with himself. He just missed that one. He got a cookie right there. High pop up for out number 1.
The 7th inning this year has been magic for the Sox. They don't score early too often, but they do score a lot late. Over 50% of their runs scored from the 7th through the 9th innings, and no exception tonight, with so far 1 to tie up the ball game.
So here's DeHonor. He's 0 for 2.
That's the first home run that Brock has given up in this his 12th appearance.
And of course, with that home run, another generous donation in loving memory of Ursula, Alex Stones. Two balls and a strike. Don't help him out. Out and around it. Well, we've said it over the years. We'll continue to say it. Everything in baseball is contagious. Talking with some Oriole people yesterday, and they said Chris Davis has really played a terrific first base. When you get a second baseman who has no errors, you get a solid shortstop like Hardy who has no errors, you get a marvelous third baseman, Machado. Even if you're so defensively, that brings you up because you work harder on it. You did not hear earlier only 2 errors in this Oriole infield. None at third, none at short, none at second. There's 2 at first.
Ruck came over from San Diego, and since putting on that Baltimore uniform, he was 7-1 in 2014, 5-3 last year. Didn't have near that kind of luck with the Padres.
But the home run by Brett Lawrie, his second. 7th inning stretch, tied at 3.
Seventh inning stretch here in Baltimore. Enjoy a U.S. Cellular Field just like a player. Play catch in the outfield, warm up in the bullpens, visit the dugouts, and much more. Join us for Family Field Day on Saturday, May 14th, and support Chicago White Sox charities. To purchase tickets, visit whitesoxcharities.org. Carlos Rodon still on the mound. He's got himself a tie game with the bottom part of the order due up. Wieters, Hardy, Reimold, if anybody gets on, Schoop. And it was the bottom part, with the aid of a couple of errors, that scored 3 runs in the 5th inning. Carlos Rodon has been very, very good tonight. And he's given up just 4 hits. He's walked just 1. He's had very good control most of the night, but that leadoff walk keyed things in the 5th. The only blemish on his control record. So as they play, thank God I'm a country boy, Brett Lawrie, whose home run tied it up. Certainly a very happy man right now. Hit his second, drove in his 8th. And Baltimore, who's been very tough at home, losers of only 1 game this year, as the Sox try to tack one on them again here tonight.
Matt Wieters will lead it off. He'll be followed by Hardy and Reimold.
Nobody up in the Sox pen, as Carlos has only thrown 82 pitches and he's been in control.
And there's a breaking ball. He got it up. A mistake right there, and Wieters makes him pay.
Now the Orioles bullpen up and going, and it's Darren O'Day as we take a look at Wieters. Straight change. Off-speed pitch. He just reaches out and takes it right back up the middle for a base hit.
Almost like a screwball. So here is Hardy 0 for 2. Hardy is grounded to third twice. Takes first pitch strike. Outfield slightly to the right. Gap out there in left center. Second of this 4-game set and 5th of the 7-game road trip. It started with 3 in Toronto. Sox swept the Blue Jays up there. And then started off last night real good with that 2-run homer by Todd Frazier in the first inning. And we got hammered 10-2.
Matt Alberts throwing in the pen. We haven't seen him for a while, so he has been rested and ready to go. Last time we saw him was in the Gonzalez game in the middle of that Toronto series. That young Oriole fan certainly very happy to be at the ballpark.
Watch it. Trouble a brewing. Bottom of the 7th.
Looked like another pitch he got up, and
that one was a fastball.
Yeah, Hardy took it right back up the middle.
There's Nolan Reimold, a strikeout. And then had a swinging bunt single. That ball hit deep into right field. Adam now is going to play it off the wall.
It's a home run.
Home run is out of here. Opposite field homer by the strong Nolan Reimold, and all of a sudden it is a 6-3 Baltimore lead.
Third home run by Reimold, and the first run's batted in excess of his 3 home runs.
Adams going to try to fake him right here and then turn around like he's going to play it off the wall. No chance.
Ford home run replay, and it's now 5 runs batted in for Reimold. More important than that, it gives the Orioles a 3-run lead.
To the count. To Schoop. Schoop 1 for 2, a 2-run single. One out. Well, that's why Reimold's in there. 6'4", very strong, can take you out anywhere. It's just a fly ball for him.
This Oriole team now has hit 32 home runs. It's a very powerful team. You don't see it very much from the bottom part of the order, but we certainly saw it last night from the middle part of the order. Last night we saw back-to-back home runs from Davis and Trumbo. Then Machado with a grand slam home run in the 6th inning.
And all 3 of them were killed. High into right. So here's Machado. Machado's 1 for 3.
Tommy Kahnle, who was just called up with Daniel Webb being put on the disabled list, throwing in the pen.
And that's down into the corner. That's a fair ball.
Well, things falling apart for Carlos Rodon here. He had the lead. He'll single, and 3-run homer. Wieters, Hardy with the singles, Reimold with a 3-run blast.
So here's Davis. Twice he has grounded to second, and then that base hit back in the 4th inning was just a little soft single into left.
Going right down the middle there, and fortunately fouled it straight back.
100 pitches. There's a slider strike. Just breeze through the first 3 if you're just tuning in. You retired the first 9 in order. Then in the 4th, got the first 2, then the first base hit, that soft single to left by Davis, and retired Trumbo. But some damage is done. Opposite field homer, high fly ball just didn't make it over that fence. But meanwhile, it's 6-3 Orioles.
upcoming schedule. A couple more here in Baltimore. Then the road trip ends, and it's an off day, and then the Red Sox come to town, followed by the Twins in a brief 6-game homestand. Their travel Wisconsin schedule. And now we've got a sidearm right-hander, Darren O'Day, who will go submarine on occasion. On for the 10th time. He's 1-0. He hasn't given up anything yet. 1-for-1 in save opportunities. Zach Britton is their closer. And awfully tough on the right-hand hitters, although he's going to start it off with the switch hitter, Jimmy Rollins. No, Adam Eaton leading it off.
Adam 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
Brad Brock, a home run, 1 inning of work, and he's the pitcher of record.
That's outside, but called a strike.
That got him.
So the leadoff man aboard.
Where's that pad on the elbow, the lead elbow, and doesn't mind taking it off that elbow to get aboard.
Rollins has struck out twice and singled. Outfield bunched a bit. Straight up. Yanks that one foul.
O'Day started his career with the Angels, got to the big leagues in 2008. Then going to Texas, where he had a whole lot of luck. 2010, 6-2 with a 2.03 ERA. The Orioles and claimed him off waivers in 2011.
Just tuning in, 6-8-0 for them. Plus 3, 6, and a huge 2. Gave him 3 runs back in the 5th inning. 2 big errors. One down.
Follow White Sox baseball live at MLB.com at BAT app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at BAT, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Good pitch by O'Day.
O'Day has been terrific since donning that Oriole uniform. 7-1, 5-3, 5-2, 6-2 in 4 successive seasons after being claimed on waivers. So one of their better waiver claims.
One and 1 to count. tomorrow night. Matt Latos against Kevin Gausman. Good game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. And Sunday afternoon, Chris Sale against Ubaldo Jimenez. And that game will be over. It's WGN tomorrow. And Comcast on Sunday.
Kevin Gausman last time out threw a handful of pitches over 100 miles an hour. Most unusual for a starting pitcher.
Breaking ball. 2 down.
Sweeping slider, and it produces an awkward swing. The big lead, you take the out, don't even think about second base. That's why he's so tough on the right-handers and has been most of his career.
So here's Frazier, 0 for 2 with a base on balls. Mysteries of the game is you talk to most, especially strong right-handed hitters against a guy like O'Day. They'll tell you they don't mind it. Meanwhile, they don't do anything with it.
Tough to hit that, especially when you're getting a slider sweeping that far away from you, and his fastball sinks inside to the right-handers. Abreu talking with Avi about what he saw from O'Day. In case this inning stays alive to Avi's spot, which is a 7th.
Top of the zone. So 2 out, 1 and 2. See if they double him up. And that's going to be a souvenir right side. That was another fastball. Just tuning in, we scored first back in the 2nd inning, doubled by Cabrera, tripled by Garcia. We took a 3-1 lead. We came back. They had 1 in the 6th and 1 in the 7th, and that'll retire us here in the 8th.
coming in the game, and it is Tommy Kahnle. Kahnle, originally drafted by the Yankees in the 5th round of 2010, acquired from Colorado in exchange for Yency Almonte last November 24th. And those are the numbers at Charlotte. They're pretty good. So he inherits a 3-run deficit. Carlos Rodon went 7, gave up the 6 runs on 8 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts.
Here's Mark Trumbo, followed by Adam Jones and then Matt Wieters. 6-3 bad guys here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Four of those 6 runs against Carlos were earned.
Kahnle, 26 years old, 6'1", 235 pounds. Out of Albany, New York. Tomorrow, Laker plans to be with us. Matt Lakos against Kevin Gausman, and that game over WGN. The leadoff walk. And here comes Jones, Adam. Grounded to third, walked, and struck out.
His contribution in this one has been defensively as he took a sinking line drive off the bat of Melky Cabrera. Fired it home. Good pick on a short hop by Wieters, and they gunned down Jimmy Rollins, which at the time kept the score 3-2 Orioles.
Gap out there in left center. Rack him up. 2 down.
This one on the outside corner. Jones tries to pull it and grounds into a very simple double play.
Just joining us, we had a couple of very simple double plays possible in this 5th inning and didn't turn either one.
So Buck Showalter for the moment won't let Wieters come up and hit. Come on, Buck.
Wants to talk to crew chief Jerry Davis.
We'll watch it again. Rollins. And he's already won a challenge. So if he wants to do it again, quite possibly he can. What he's saying, I think, was that Lowry was not on the bag. He had his foot on the bag. He's saying he lifted it off before he actually caught the baseball.
And they're going to review it. good way to get a broken wrist right there.
Well, there you see it. Watch his foot. Well, it's going to depend on that left foot, and when he had control, where the left foot was.
From there, it looked like it was on the bag from that angle.
Well, definitive proof being the key, and we will have to see, as Buck took a long time with his people in the locker room reviewing that one. He won his first one.
If you're just joining us, I mentioned we scored first back in the second inning. Double by Cabrera, triple by Javi Garcia. And they scored 3 in the 5th, aided by 2 big errors. Made it 3-1. We scored 1 in the 6th, RBI single by Abreu. Tied it in the top of the 7th with a home run off the bat of Brett Laurie. And then in the bottom of the 7th, a 3-run homer opposite field, just a high fly ball that Adam Eaton thought might go off the fence. Meanwhile, it hit just over the fence and bounced back onto the field. And he is out. So 2 down.
Double play, and Showalter is batting .500. John Russell, his bench coach, to his right.
So here's Wieters. A strikeout, reached on an error, singled, and scored. Wieters got that high off-speed pitch last time up, leading off the 7th, and drilled it in the center field for the base hit. Pitch. And it's 3-1. So the second walk of the inning. So here's Hardy. 2 grounders to Frazier at third. Then he got a fastball back in the 7th, drilled it into center field. He came around to score ahead of that 3-run homer by Reimold.
Ainley having some problems with the strike zone.
And that one evens the count. Also making plans to be with us on Sunday afternoon. Chris Sale against Ubaldo Jimenez. Game right back here on Comcast Sportsnet. Over to Laurie. That'll retire the side. We'll go to the 9th. Cabrera Laurie and Garcia.
Miller Lite, and here's our Miller moment. And unfortunately, it's for the guys wearing the white uniforms tonight. Nolan Raimo going opposite field, a 3-run homer. That's a difference in this ball game. His 3rd home run of the year. Put the Orioles on top. 3-3 tie at the time. And Zach Britton comes in, and he's the closer. Britton has 5 saves. He's on for the 10th time. His ERA 2.16. He's a perfect example of what happens when you take a guy who's struggling as a starter but can throw a good sinker. And that's what he is. Lots of ground balls thrown by Zach Britton.
Here's Cabrera, 1 for 3. Takes first pitch strike.
Not a whole lot of people are going to do a lot with a 96-mile-an-hour sinker.
Hopper, 1 out.
There are nights Britton will go out there and you can't lift the ball in the air against him. It's Todd Frazier on a very cool evening. Of course, by yesterday's standards, this is a heat wave. It was 51 degrees at game time with 90% humidity. So at least it was a damp cold.
So here's Brett. Laurie. 1 for 3. Tied up the game at 3. Leading off the 7th inning.
High fastball, and he takes it out.
Well, unfortunately, if it remains status quo, it was the defense that did it.
Well, the few times this year the defense just wasn't equal to the task because it should have been a scoreless inning. Carlos was throwing real well in the 5th. Should have been 2 out, nobody on for a chopper by Hardy that would have ended the inning.
Two down. 10th strikeout. Oriole pitching. Orioles trying to get their home record this season to 9-1. Red Sox. If it remains like this, we'll fall to 10-5 on the road. $19,912.
Stays like this. Brock will be the winner. Britton will save his 6th, and unfortunately Carlos Rodon will get the L.
One and one to count. And the 2-2 pitch. It's full.
Tanner Navarro in the on-deck circle, hoping that Avi can keep it alive.
That's a fair ball.
Avi hurt himself.
Yes, he looked like he did. Meanwhile, this ball game is over. Avi's still way down the right field line. Take another look at Avi hitting, trying to avoid the tag.
It's not a good sign. He was just starting to swing the bat. He got him on the thigh, and then he hit the bag awkwardly. All of a sudden, the injury's starting to pile up on his ball club.
So we lose at 6-3, and Carlos Rodon was good.